Hey, yo, this Kingearner coming to y'all live and direct. Tonight I wanted to speak on something that has a whole lot of honor to it. It's an individual that passed not too long ago, but it seems like a lot of us so busy on trying to help the youth get out the street that we're missing the fact that there's other individuals that go through pains and rough suffering. Aretha Franklin was one of the most top-notch, honorable individuals that was in the industry. She come at a time when it was poverty and a lot of people really wasn't earning a lot of money in the industry. But what's more honorable with her is that she took her time out to actually do the right thing within her industry. And when I say she took her time out, she made sure at the end of the day, she done things right in a correct manner. Okay, everyone gets paid, and when they get paid, you know what they do? They take their money and they run and do a lot of wrong things. She made sure she invested her money. But what was even more crazy is that it was $80 million cold cash. And I think one of her sons was able to receive the money, but the others wasn't. So this speaker that I'm speaking on today is going to be more or less a speaking where I'm giving y'all the understanding what's important in life. And you know what's important in life? Insurance. Listen to me, individuals. Your mother or your father or your aunt or your uncle or your niece, somebody may have insurance in the house, right? And what ends up happening when they pass away and they die, don't nobody know exactly about what's going on with that individual. No one has stopped and said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make sure that my grandmother, my auntie, my mother is going to be in good hands. Although those people set it up for them to be very prepared and put in the ground the correct way, we don't have a connection to know what's the next step. They prepared, they have everything, they have their insurance, they have their money. But because sometimes we don't keep that connection between each other as family, individuals begin to not know what's going on. So she's buried but her children, or she's buried but her grandchildren, or she's buried but the whole family doesn't even receive the money sometimes. And when I speak of that, I'm not just speaking on no Aretha Franklin things, because I think her problem is really, really small. But the type of individual she was, you don't find many individuals that got 80 million when they die. I don't think Michael Jackson was even at that number. He might have been worth more than that. But from what I'm understanding, that he was going through a lot of different ups and downs financially because people was trying to what? F him around. But Aretha Franklin, she was in pocket and 80 million. So it's like, who gets some of this money? Who's put in position? And those who have the insurances, policies and things of this nature, they sometimes also forget the hardest thing is for them that they forget to actually tell their people, look, this was what I want done. So there's no last will and testament in play. We got to begin to understand, especially as black men that are labeled to be riding down the street, pulled over with a ticket and killed by a police officer. We got to begin to understand that we're going to have family members that's left. So sometimes we got to be detailed in what we do. When we're passing that last will and testament, be detailed so it won't be no scrutinies between you and family members while you're not even here. Why didn't he sign it this way? Or why didn't he do it with his daughter get that? And why didn't he do it with his father get that? Why wasn't he an individual that do that? And you know what ends up happening? That person that's buried, they get the backlash of it. And guess what? They don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. We don't deserve it. People that are stable and the people that wasn't stable that are beginning to, to get stable, we shouldn't have to go through certain things that we didn't have intentions on doing wrong. And that's what happened. We get cussed out. I know he was on her side. I know he liked her or him better than me. The children, he always thought that she was the best. If you know, sometimes individuals leave money to people they know that is responsible. And them people will know, but they may not share. The goal is to always share. A life that I chose one time, I know that I needed to get insurance for my life. But guess what? I didn't get insurance for my life at them times. But once I got conscious and I came home and I decided to do the right thing, I looked back like, how wouldn't I have got insurance on my life? At the end of the day, I knew what I was doing and I knew I had children and things of this nature out there. What was wrong with me that I done that? So now my mindset is more focused on doing the right thing, and you'll find out that you have a lot of millionaire drug dealers, a lot of millionaire dudes that's doing a lot of things, but they don't have life insurance. As soon as they pass away, their family got to throw a party or fish fry, start selling shirts to bury the individual. And that individual understands and knows that the life that they chose could cost them to go. Let's start focusing on being like Aretha Franklin. We can honestly say that she's a black woman that had her business intact, and this is the truth of facts that they speak on her about. You know that she never took a check from nobody? All the money she ever got was cold cash. She never was an individual that was, oh, send me this, send me that, send me that. No, she dictated the pay because guess what? She was the worth in the pay. So they made sure they honor her correctly. She done things in the right manner, and that's what all of us in the community got to start doing. We got to start doing things in the right manner. If you're in a family and you're in a home and this is your family I'm speaking of, and you know that somebody older or somebody younger, you know, is liable to either go through health risks and pass away or even run in the streets and pass away, you should go ahead and get insurance on them to make sure they're buried correctly. Not insurance to put in your pocket to go ahead splurging and doing negative things, but more or less insurance to make sure their children is good, insurance to make sure they're buried correctly. I'm Kingearner from the Honor Your Life campaign, and when I was in the streets, I never, ever took time out to care about my life or the backlash of me having to go and being buried and my family having a burden, along with my family not being able to have anything, and I never was working and none of that. Come on, I'm just gonna die and leave them with a bill? And for the ones that haven't started working yet, it's about time that we all start getting an understanding what a 9 to 5 is. 2 years ago, I realized what it is. I started working on it, and guess what? I built my own 9 to 5. Now I'm actually going through the school system with my contracts. Some would say, oh, Kingearner, how can an individual like that yourself do that? I took time, and I took time to learn. I'm Kingearner from the Honor Your Life campaign. Once again, make sure that you go out and get that insurance and honor your family the correct way. Kingearner live and direct.